the entire world in which we live is like a ball of time and space. So this universe in which we live, in the beginning, it was a very tiny ball of energy and matter and time and space, and it has expanded to be an enormous universe, millions, billions of light years across. The exact size of it, I'm not sure, but it's huge. And all that exists that we can measure is inside this ball of time and space. Like, this is our entire world. And then how do we understand this? How do we imagine it? Like, it's very big to wrap your mind around it. But one image that actually works is it's like a novel. Our entire universe is like a novel. Why? Because a novel, it has a setting, but it has a time span, right? It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So all the time is contained in here. There's the start, there's the middle. Who knows where we are in this story? Maybe we're just at the very beginning. Maybe we're already toward the end. We're not exactly sure. But this entire bundle of time and space, which is our universe, is kind of like this, okay? And we exist as characters inside this book. Maybe I'm the character who shows up on page 5,000,000,007, right? And then 5,000,000,008, it's already about my kids. That's our universe, okay? So there is a theory that there exist lots of other novels like this one that like side by side on the shelf, right? So these are like what we call parallel universes, a whole different story full of either similar characters or different characters, a whole nother adventure that has its own beginning and middle and end. So Christian understanding of God is that God is an author who is outside of time. So instead of just being another person like us, just bigger, God is a being without beginning and without end. So he doesn't have his story is not a novel like this. It's an always was and always will be. So he simply exists in what we would call a present moment, which could be a moment of intense energy. Like, it's not necessarily a static, fixed, not moving. It could be intense energy, right? But that God doesn't have a becoming he doesn't have a sunrise or a sunset on his life. He just simply exists, right? So that's the Christian understanding. And there's a couple of theories on life after death. So one theory is that there will be a sequel to the story that we're in right now. And in this sequel, we're going to get, another adventure, right? Maybe a better one than the one that we're in right now. That's one theory. In Christianity, the idea is not that we're going to exist in another universe, but we're going to have an eternal life. So in our next adventure, in our next story, we're going to be much more like God, without beginning and end, without sunrise and sunset, but simply existing together with one another in a story that continues without an end. So that's the idea, that's the theory, that's what we call eternal life. Eternal is outside of time, so not bound by time like the story that we're in right now. That's the Christian theory for the future of the universe, in a 3-minute video.